Again, I'm Diana Buswell, FundMatch Liaison, and today I'll be speaking to you about social media campaigns. In today's presentation, I'm going to use Facebook, a Facebook post, as the example for the social media. The same guidelines will apply for any of the campaigns that you do for Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Please put your questions in the chat function and we can address those at the end of the presentation. I will be following up with each one of you by email, sending you the slides for the presentation and all of the documentation that we discussed. The tutorial will be available on our website at www.wasada.org in a couple of days. And today's presentation will take about 20 minutes. And with that, let's get started. Today, our agenda includes FundMatch application first steps, FundMatch eligibility, the U.S. origin statement, example claim discussion, the eligible origin statements, required documentation, including invoices, proof of payment, proof of activity, the resources available to you, ineligible expenses, a payment timeline, and we're going to discuss our new online claim submission. The first step. Well, our first steps actually sort of begin on Friday. On September 1st, FundMatch will introduce the new online application process, and applications will open for 2024. The new process is online and automated without all the paperwork that we've had to do in the past. And you'll be able to apply for the remainder of 2023 as well with this new process. Make sure everyone's in-house here. One of the tips is to make sure to apply early before the activity occurs. And if you're already signed up for Wasada and with FundMatch, you'll sign into your Wasada account to check to see if the funding for your country market of your campaign is listed. If not listed, you'll need to amend your contract. And also, I recommend to check your listed products. Make sure they're approved for your campaign, and keep in mind that added products, a new amendment to your contract, it must be approved prior to your activity. Eligibility. So social media campaigns, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they must be country market focused, and the links must include the internet country code. For example, .ca if it's for Canada, or .vn if it's for Vietnam. .com or domestic social media is not eligible for reimbursement. The origin statement and brand promotion must be present in each post. If a video is within the post, the origin statement and the brand promotion must be spoken as well as written. E-commerce campaigns or website ads, such as with Amazon, that are associated with purchase or discount are not eligible for reimbursement. So we just spoke a little bit about origin statements, and let's kind of clarify that a little bit. Origin statements need to be present in all of your international activities, and that includes social media. It needs to be product of the USA or product of America, grown in the USA or grown in America, made in the USA or made in America. If you're using your state as your origin statement, it cannot be abbreviated. It must be spelled out, product of California, grown in Oregon, or made in Montana. So always reference this page. It's page 15 in the guide. Reference this page whenever you're preparing for your campaigns. And if you have any questions, feel free to just give our office a call, or you can reach out to us by email as well. And this is kind of exciting because it's just a blank claim form. However, on October 1st, we're going to go to online claim submission, and it doesn't necessarily eliminate using a claim form. However, you will be scanning it in and using it when you submit your documentation for your claims. Your claim form must include your company name and the country that you're doing your activity in, your activity code, your approval date, the expenditures, of course, and the signature at the bottom that has your contact information. Now, these next few pages, they're going to be examples and mock-ups of what your claim form should look like when you're compiling your documentation. Even though at some point you'll be doing this online, you'll still need to scan invoices, you'll need to upload photos. You know, there will be files that you'll probably keep on your computer that you'll be able to just drag and drop into your online submissions. So keep in mind that you'll still need to kind of gather this information together. And this is our Joe's Avocado, who is our little fake company that we put up there. Now, if you have like a marketing firm that's handling your postings or handling all your social media accounts, it would require that we receive an invoice from them and of course your proof of payment. And here's just an example of maybe what that invoice would look like, as well as the proof of payment. And this slide is probably the most important slide. This slide is what we need for your proof of activity, and it needs to be a screenshot. And the screenshot would include 4 different things. It has to have your brand name, which in this case is Joe's Avocados. It needs to have a valid origin statement, grown in California. You have to show in your link that it's targeting a foreign audience, which is Malaysia. And I'm not sure if Malaysia is the internet country code, but that's what they put on there for my example. And the date of the screenshot, which you can see is down here in your taskbar at the bottom on the right. So it needs to incorporate all of that. You would need to take a screenshot of each post and each date that you repost it. We also ask that you provide translation of the post. That previous post was in a different language, and so then we have it translated into English. And if there was a video included in that post, you would just we might request that you send a jump drive, but a lot of times you can just upload it since there'll be online claims, you'll be able to upload it onto the system as well. What we do is we'll pull images from that video to, compile for you so you can show your proof of activity. And it indicates the brand, the origin statement, and it'll have the dates and that type of thing on it as well. So in the end, here's our little list of required documentation. We need to have the final invoices that include the date and the name and address and contact information of the vendor, and all of the itemized charges, the name of the payee and company contact information, and the charges translated if we need to have it translated. Another piece that's required is proof of payment. So if you pay for your charges with a bank or credit card statement, we need to have that in a PDF format. The first page of the statement must be included, plus the page of transaction. If you pay by check, you would need to include the check image plus the corresponding bank statement. And if you pay by wire, you have to include the wire transfer form and the corresponding bank statement. And cash, if you pay, for instance, you have a temporary labor person that assists you in this process for your posting or that, you may pay it cash. If you pay cash, it needs to be a dated signature of cash receipt indicating the itemized details and hours worked. And this is just kind of your checklist for when you're sending in your claim. You'll need to have your invoices prepared, your proof of payment, the dates of the social media campaign. That's generally on the analytical data that you can pull from the social media platform, and it confirms the campaign, the dates, the country. A dated print page of the screenshot for each post for each date. And remember, if it's a post with a video, the video clip can be uploaded, or we may request that you submit it on a hard drive. And the English translation is needed for the above items as well. So the most common reasons that you may submit a social media claim that it might not be eligible would be if you have inaccurate screenshots that don't include the dates and they don't match up with the post. Inadequate or no proof of payment. Inadequate or no valid invoices. If you're unable to provide a video copy, or no origin statement or brand promotion, which is like, that's the #1 requirement. And if you're unable to translate it properly for us. And this is the payment timeline. The payment timeline begins when you, the participant, submits the reimbursement claim. It's generally done within 60 days of the last day of your campaign. WSADA will receive the claim and we review it within 30 days of submission. Now, this might change for online claims. You know, it may be much quicker than that. So you'll find out more information on that the closer we get to October 1st. If the claim is incomplete, WSADA will request documentation and the company has 15 calendar days to provide the requested documentation, or the claim will be processed at it as is. If the claim is complete, WSADA will simply process it, approve it, send it for payment. It takes about 14 days for payment to be dispersed. So now some of the exciting part, the updates for online claim submission. So the online claim submission will begin October 1st of 2023. Until then, just continue to email your claims in full documentation in a single PDF document to fundmatch@wasada.org. And we only have, what, 35 more days to do that. So we're excited about the change and looking forward to helping you in this regard. And this is a listing of our resources. Always consult the FundMatch guide if you have questions. There's example claims on our website that are very helpful when you're compiling your documentation. You can always schedule a liaison consult with me, and we can go over your individual campaigns and the specifics to any type of activity that you're going to propose. And of course, our webinars that are online now, they address many of our different activities. And this particular one will be uploaded within a couple of days. In the FundMatch guide, pages 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41 all deal with websites, social media campaigns, any type of digital advertising. The FundMatch guide also on pages 29 and 31, it will show you about claims submission and kind of gathering your documentation. And then, of course, those example claims we were talking about are on the Woodsada website under programs and FundMatch claim tutorials. It has a social media one for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also for a website in a foreign language. And that is the end of our presentation. I thank you so much for this and for attending. We will get to our questions here in a moment, but I do want to give you a sincere thank you for getting back and using your time to view these webinars. It's very helpful, and it's a lot quicker way to get the information out for you. Feel free if you have individual questions or a specific campaign that you want to discuss, just email me at diana@woodsada.org and we will set up a meeting.